come on stage and say you need to beat your kids. But as a father, let me just say publicly, maybe we should stop beating our kids. Publicly.
The truth is just as strange as fiction. Taco Bell selling chicken wings.
Forget the controversies and the conspiracies for a second. Strip all of that away, and what you're left with is one of the sharpest comedic minds to ever pick up a microphone. And nothing proves it quite like watching Katt Williams on a late-night set, because when he's locked in, there's nobody better.
Do you think that this affected your relationship with women, your success with women?
It made me try really hard, because women want tall, dark, and handsome, and I wasn't able to fulfill any of those. So when I got a woman, I really tried hard. You know, I think short guys make better lovers, just because once we get on, we don't want to get off.
By the time the Sean Diddy Combs case exploded into the mainstream, the baby oil warehouses, the trafficking allegations, the leaked footage, most people were catching up. Katt Williams wasn't. Years earlier, sitting across from Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay, he'd already said the quiet part loud. That interview didn't just go viral, a lot of people credit it with forcing the conversation into places it had never been able to reach before.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Wild 'N Out is built for moments like this. A comedian with no filter handed a live mic and told to go. For most people on that stage, that's terrifying. For Katt Williams, it should be terrifying for everyone else. But during this particular episode, the show found something Katt Williams apparently didn't see coming.
Talk your My favorite words in Call of Duty is team swipe. And you lost your last stripes, because after the show, you know, it might get right, and then you won't make it home tonight.
You mean this whole time the mic wasn't?
I was really laying my life in these bars.
Long before anyone was talking about Diddy, Bill Cosby was the name that rocked Hollywood to its core. And for a generation of black comedians who grew up watching him, the fallout was personal. Dave Chappelle spoke about it openly, about what Cosby meant to him as a kid.
But it's really tough. You know, you guys are young, so imagine if you found out 40 years from now that Kevin Hart 54 people. He'd be like, oh my God. The only one that would believe that would be Katt Williams. He'd be like, I knew that motherfucker was up to something.
Katt Williams grew up in that same era. So when Theo Von brought up Cosby's name during a podcast, nobody had any idea what Katt was about to say.
What about Bill Cosby? Did you ever get to meet him or not? Before he had all the problems?
Is being a rapist one of the problems?
Oh, okay, sorry.
The relationship between Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle has never been simple. On paper, they should be the best of friends, two of the most gifted stand-ups of their generation, both known for speaking truth to power. But behind the scenes, things have been complicated. Chappelle went on Jimmy Fallon and shared a story about a run-in with Katt that nobody saw coming.
So then I go on Twitter, and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, it's a fake Dave Chappelle. My name, my picture was not me.
No.
So I start following the guy. And then, like a week or two into it, he just turns evil and starts like a whole Twitter beef with this guy, Katt Williams. You know, Katt.
The real Katt Williams?
Right, well, that's the problem, that Katt Williams starts saying things to this fake Dave Chappelle that's hurting the real Dave Chappelle's feelings. You know? So I go to the comedy show, and I see Kevin Hart there. I'm like, what's up, Kevin? And he's like, yo, man, Katt's here. Like I was in trouble or something. Like, what? So I said, well, where's he at? So then I go over to Katt, and I'm like, yo, Katt, man, you know, I gotta talk to you. I don't have a Twitter page. And he's like, so what, Dave Chappelle? He's like, what are you trying to say? And I'm like, I'm trying to say I don't have a Twitter page. He goes, so that's not unusual. I don't have a Twitter page either.
Here's what most people miss in all of this. Despite their history, there's a deep well of respect between these two men. Chappelle has called Katt Williams one of the foundational pillars of black comedy. And Katt, he's gone on record saying Chappelle is the greatest comedian alive, not of his generation.
Do you consider yourself the greatest?
No. Dave Chappelle still lives and breathes. Okay. And, you know, the fact that the industry blacklisted him for the last 7 years does not take away from the fact that he still walks the earth.
So wherever you land on the Chappelle debate, don't lose sight of what we're actually dealing with. This man has released over 19 stand-up specials. 19. That's not a career, that's a dynasty. And he's packed every one of them with moments that remind you exactly why he's untouchable when he's in the zone.
Crazy world, you don't know what to believe. The truth is just as strange as fiction. Taco Bell selling chicken wings. This is in Revelation.
Where's all the fellas in here with an ugly woman? Make some noise.
Some people saw their whole marriage go before their eyes.
If you get in a fight with Chinese people, please don't think is finna help you. I'm just telling you right now, you better not with the Chinese. Not many kung fu movies as we done seen. We love the Chinese. Come on stage and say you need to beat your kids, but as a father, let me just say publicly, maybe we should stop beating our kids. Publicly. We are tired of going to the grocery store to see you beat your mother baby. As soon as your baby touches the skin on you, what the did I tell your mother?
Something most people don't know. Katt Williams and Jimmy Fallon came up in the same circles. Back in the late 1990s, the two were regulars at the same comedy club circuit, both unknowns trying to make something happen. Fast forward to last year, and Katt finally appeared on The Tonight Show, the first time the two had ever shared a stage together on screen. What happened when they finally talked about that first meeting is exactly as good as you'd hope.
I need you to understand what I was thinking on the other end of meeting you. What I remember was a guy that seemed to me to have all of the benefits that would guarantee his success. You out there trying to do comedy, you got smooth milk white skin, you look like you come from money, like you're in here in the trenches with us. If I'm not funny tonight, I'm gonna be hungry. And I see this Jimmy, I'm like, this guy's gonna freaking make it, I just know it.
What are you talking about? I was just as hungry as you were.
You didn't look hungry.
Here's one that flies under the radar. Katt Williams was actually a child prodigy. By the time he was 12 years old, he had already been accepted into a prestigious science program with early acceptance to university. He didn't pursue it, he chose comedy instead. But it explains a lot about the way his brain works on stage. The man isn't just funny, he's operating at a different speed. Katt Williams in a film role is already a gamble for whoever's running the set. Not because he's difficult, but because when someone that funny is standing around between takes, the whole thing tends to fall apart. These bloopers are proof that some people are simply too funny to put in front of a camera without losing a couple of shooting days.
I know you probably bubbling right now. I'm gonna get... He needs to be untied is what he needs. I've been in that position before. That is uncomfortable. You know she can't control her wind, and you know. Stop, brother. All right? And someone needs a breath mint. Let's start with me, not me. Okay, pass it down. We don't have to go no further. Excuse me, 3 notes.
Elon Musk has spent billions trying to get the world to embrace self-driving cars, robo-taxi fleets, full self-driving mode, the whole pitch. But nobody, and we mean nobody, has made a more convincing case for the technology than Katt Williams did entirely by accident.
I'm finna buy me a self-driving car. Out of here, I'm gonna be in the back seat. You pull me over, I don't know what to tell you. Talk to the driver.
The idea of leaving it all behind for a quiet life on a farm sounds peaceful in theory. No cameras, no drama, just land and fresh air. Katt Williams has a very specific take on why that dream might not be everything people think it is. Hear him out before you start house hunting in the countryside.
I found out I'm not cut out for this farm life. I bought all the animals that was delicious. I done had this farm for 4 years. We ain't killed a animal yet. I don't know how you do this. I'm supposed to eat these? These my friends,
Hanging out with Snoop Dogg sounds like the kind of story you'd be telling your grandkids. The man is a living legend. And for most people, the idea of a smoke session with Snoop and his crew would be the pinnacle. According to Katt Williams, the reality is a very different experience.
And I was hanging out with Snoop Dogg. Now, this is a professional. So I'm feeling like everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna smoke enough weed to be sociable. I need to explain to you that it's in this room only me, Snoop, and his two partners. In 3/4 minutes, I start noticing that I am higher than I have ever been my entire life. I mean, I am high. Like I'm up on the world looking down at the planets and stars, just satellites in my mama house where I grew up in Avondale. Just all of it, I can see it.
Snoop doesn't take this lightly, and the numbers are there to prove it. At one point, the man employed a full-time professional herb roller on a salary of around $50,000 a year. According to that same employee, Snoop can get through up to 150 rolls in a single day. And even with that kind of output, there is apparently one person on this planet who ever genuinely outpaced him, Willie Nelson. Story goes, they linked up, started passing things around, and Snoop eventually had to hold his hands up and admit he couldn't keep up with a man in his 70s.